And we are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Justin here with Darrell.
Mm-hmm. Always.
And just want to let everybody know we received a couple emails, a couple complaints that I don't speak loud enough sometimes. So I'm going to be really loud tonight. Just want to let you all know.
What? I didn't catch that last part.
We're just going to talk about some reviews tonight. Darrell,
Movie reviews.
Yeah. Try to keep up with my volume, okay?
Okay.
It's another late night.
Oh, where's Chester, by the way? I thought he was coming again tonight.
Who? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy. Well, I yelled at him for last time for stomping.
I know, I left mud on my floor.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Don't be a dick. Be a dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely want to be a dude, not a dick.
Yeah. Never want to be a dick. Always want to be a dude.
So, besides the movie reviews, we're going to talk about some metal reviews.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Just a triple.
Yep, that's right.
And Darrell, let's start off with one of your reviews.
Okay.
In the past couple of weeks here, you did a review.
Yep.
For the band Skyharbor.
I did a review for a band called Skyharbor. They are from India, which seemed really odd at the time, but we'll get into, I think we talked about that last week, why it's not so odd when it's all said and done. But this band was started from just a bedroom studio project from guitarist Keshav Dar, and I apologize if I said that wrong. Again, not cultured. We are not. And they kind of built from there and ended up being discovered by Marty Friedman, who was the guitarist of Megadeth, and Dan Tompkins, who was the vocalist of the band Tesseract. And basically kind of built from there. They got some great reviews on the music itself, and they just released their new album, which is called Blinding White Noise, Illusion, and Chaos. It's broken into two parts. Dan Tompkins, again, formerly of Tesseract, does the vocals on the Illusion part of the album, which is pretty awesome. His vocals are really great because they're melodic, but he still has a gritty edge to it. And the music itself definitely falls into that gent category that we've discussed before. A lot of stop starts, a lot of just crushing, chugging riffs, a la Meshuggah. But really, really awesome album. I was pretty impressed, and I think part of the reason I liked it so much was because of Tompkins' vocals, which, like as I said, it's just very, very strong. But as you move into the second part of the album, which is Chaos, he passes off the mic to, man, this is going to be brutal, Sunith Revankar.
Sounds good.
Man, I hope so. I'm sorry again. Who, the music gets a little more industrial, and his vocals are just absolutely pulverizing. Just screams, almost like, oh man, I forgot the guy's name. The guy who did some of the vocals on the Project Masquerade album, on some of the, especially the track Killer of Life, just gritty, screaming vocals. But definitely, really great album. These guys are great. I definitely would love to see them live. I think it would be a great show. So make sure you check out that album from Skyharbor.
All right.
One of the hopes of Indian metal. Now, Justin, we'll talk about one of your reviews. You did a review, and again, conveniently also from India, a band called Winter Gate.
I did.
I did!
This was just an EP by them, and the EP is called Disillumination. It just came out this year, and I have to say, this was an EP I was telling you right when I first listened to it that you need to hear it.
Yep. Because
it reminded me a lot of Opeth. It definitely has that progressive death metal, feeling. The EP is only 3 tracks, and the first one is just a piano, like a piano instrumental, and then the other 2 they go for a good 12 to 13 minutes each, which definitely that just reminds me of Opeth.
Yeah, that whole progressive metal movement.
Yeah, but they even have a similar structure, like how they go back and forth between distorted guitars and acoustic guitars, heavy growling, death metal growling, and then switching over to like clean singing, like eerie, beautiful singing, male singing. But again, like I'm a big fan of Opeth, and I know you are. And,
Yes.
And this definitely attracted me to them. You know what I heard on this EP. So if you guys like Opeth out there, definitely check this out. They have their own sound at the same time, so that's why I really like them. It's not one of those bands that you're just like, oh, I'll just listen to Opeth. Then they're definitely worth listening to, and I'm curious what they're gonna come out with after this as like a full length album. But
well, yeah, I know the singer / guitar player had said that they're really trying to build the name and trying to build up from here. I'm curious to see where they go, like you said, for a full length.
Yeah.
I mean, the EP ends up being what 20-something minutes at least.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, that's pretty
25,
good.
26.
I mean, you're talking a full length could be like 2 hours,
Yeah.
which would be perfectly fine.
Yep. So Winter Gate, check them out. Now you had an EP also that you just did by the band Fister.
Yeah, and I pass credit on to you for Fister because you a couple months ago did a review, actually in February, of their other album titled Violence, which I remember you really liked.
Yeah.
So when I saw they had a new EP out titled The Infernal Paramount, I said, you know what, Justin liked these guys. Let me fucking check this shit out. Let me fucking check it out. Just gonna fucking do it. So I hop on. It's only 2 tracks. So when I posted the review on our pages, I had said that if you have 12 minutes to spare, just fucking listen to it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that they had on Violence. It's a mixture of doom and sludge. Like a lot of the tempo is doom, but the guitars are just heavy distortion. It is sludge metal at its best. And I can't say enough about this. It's 3 guys from St. Louis, and I listened to it probably 5 times in a row. Just hit play and just let it loop.
Yeah.
Because it's just so punishing. That's the only way. It's punishing. It made my ears ring for days because I just felt the need to blast it. It's just so crazy, and the mix is so murky. It's so just clouded, but in a good way. We have some where the mix is bad, and you kind of go like, oh, even black metal stuff. The mix is so bad, and sometimes it ruins it.
Yeah.
The mix is bad, but it almost just takes everything and makes it into this one big ball of just sonic destruction. It's just fucking great. It's absolutely fucking great. My suggestion is that you go over to their site and you order it. They have it on vinyl coming out. They have a black one and a pink one. You might want the pink one. But definitely, not that it matters for review's sake, but in kind of exchanging messages and emails, after doing the review of their last album and now this one, they're nice guys that really just care about their music. They work really fucking hard at this, and I think that's what makes it even better.
Right.
Is that they're not just some jack-offs, going, oh, here's some shit, pay us money for it. Like, they're really putting everything they got into it.
Yeah.
So, you get 12 minutes of blood, sweat, and tears, and I think that's pretty fucking great. So, check out the new EP from Fister, The Infernal Paramount. You will not be disappointed. Now, Justin, you did a review of a band. You did a review of a band called Deathlehem.
Yep.
Which, before you talk about it, before you start with your blah, 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 it's cool.
Rabble.
Rabble. I just want to point out that is a fucking great name for a band.
Yeah.
Deathlehem.
Yep.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I imagine they're what, like a power pop band? Or...
Yeah, some Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all I have to say about them is that they have a cool name. No, I'm just kidding.
We had you guys, though.
These guys are some good guys here. They're from Montreal, and they're more or less a melodic death metal band. I guess you could label them under. I think some people label them as extreme metal. But they're a 5-piece band. They just came out with their first EP called Epic of Creation, which you can actually download for free on their website. It looks like, but I really like the EP. That's the thing with the EPs are like such a tease as to what's to come after. When they give you something so good, it's like, how could you even make an album? How could you make an album to follow this? Just this short EP, and but I have to say, there's one song on there, "Suffocation by the Hands of Man."
That's an intense name.
Yeah, and it's an intense song. It really blew my mind. The double bass, just the drum patterns in general are ridiculous. The growling, solid growling. I really like the recording throughout the whole EP. I thought it was pretty good. Sometimes for EPs, I look for that too, since it is just an EP. You're not sure if they're really going to put a lot of good quality into their recording or not, as opposed to the albums. But
I mean, this EP really packs and punch.
yeah. A couple errors there in this EP. You douchebag. Yeah, you should read the review because it's.
But not too carefully.
It's pretty funny. Moving on. Let's see. You have another one that you did.
Yeah.
And it is the infamous Sonata Arctica.
Yes, the infamous. Let's just get this out of the way. Let's just put this out there and get this out of the way.
All right.
Neither of us liked their last album.
Yeah.
The Days of Grays.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was cheesy. I thought it was just... I don't know. Because we really liked Unia.
Yeah.
When you have songs like Black and White and For the Sake of Revenge, those were awesome songs. And Days of Grays just never did it for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, they have a new album coming out. It actually comes out 2 days after this podcast goes up in the United States, May 22nd. It will be available as regular and digipack packaging. The name of the album is Stones Grow Her Name. Now, I'm going to be honest, when I saw the artwork and the name, I was a little worried. I wasn't sure what I was going to get. Mm-hmm. But I consider this album kind of the return to form that I was hoping for. Because so many of the tracks have that feeling that they sound a little bit more like Unia. A lot less like Days of Grays, a lot more like Unia. Mm-hmm. And the best thing about this band is that they don't do the same thing twice. They seem to evolve each time. And I really think that this album is the perfect example of that. Now, I mean, if you want a couple spotlight tracks that I need to bring up, let's go with track number 2, Justin. Can't wait for you to hear this one, by the way. The track is called Shitload of Money.
Seriously?
Yes. Huh. I am serious. The riffs are crazy. It sounds like glam metal, like good old-fashioned hair metal. Got a shitload of money. I'm not even kidding. When I heard it the first time, I saw the name and I went, okay, shitload of money. This has to be a joke. And it just sounds like 80s glam metal, and it is awesome. You just get into it. You know that if we were to sit at the show and hear this song, our fists would be up. We'd be smiling ear to ear. It was stuck in my head for hours after I turned the album off. So that's number 1. Now, if you like keyboards, Losing My Insanity is a great one, because that's one of the ones, it's just led by keyboards. It sounds a lot like Unia, and it's just, the vocals particularly sound like Unia, which I thought was great, because Losing My Insanity falls in the same track number, I believe, as For the Sake of Revenge on Unia. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's a similarity there, which you'll hear.
Yeah.
Now, if you skip towards... Well, I'll hit the first single, which is called I Have a Right. Cheesy as fuck in the lyric department, but again, really good. Basically, the whole song is I should be allowed to be me. Which, you know, fine, that's a perfectly fine message, especially from, you know, the metal community.
Yeah.
But, by the same token, a little cheesy. A little cheesy. So, you know, you get that one. Let's just go right to the end. Alright? I'm going to skip Alone in Heaven. You'll find that one out on your own. Read the review, you'll get my take on that.
Alright.
There's a song called Cinder Blocks. B-L-O-X, Blocks, Cinder Blocks. It's a goddamn jug band hoedown with an electric guitar.
What?
It sounds like banjo picking, jug band, toothless hoedown, done Finnish metal style. I didn't know what the fuck to think the first time. And again, so fucking catchy. So fucking catchy. You will not fucking believe it. And then, you know, you get Don't Be Mean, another kind of cheesy ballad kind of song. And then it ends with 2 epic tracks, Wildfire Part 2 and 3, both 8 minutes, double bass, great singing, crazy guitars. All right, basically I just gave you almost my entire review.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but the album is great. I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I really feel like they're coming back to where I want them to be. Now, looking at their site, looking at other sites who did reviews, some of them not so positive. I've seen reviews as low as 6 out of 10 or 60 out of 100, which I don't know. I don't know what about the album you could not like. Like I said, those definitely tracks stand out, and I could see being a little wary, but
yeah,
check it out. Stones Grow Her Name, Sonata Arctica, motherfuckers.
Woo!
Jug band hoedown. Now, Justin, your last review you want to talk about this week is I feel like we're doing a little Law and Order piece here. Come into your own defense.
Uh-huh.
What's going on? Why are you playing defense attorney tonight?
Well, I did a review for the band Several Union, and they are from
Several
Italy.
Union. Oh, they're from Italy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
good
those
stuff
guys.
coming out of Italy.
The album that I reviewed came out at the end of 2011. It's called Awake from the Game.
Oh, that's a terrible fucking name.
Well, see, now this is why I'm on the defense, is because
Awake from the game.
it's not quite metal. I have to admit, I was attracted by the album cover at first, because it's this chick with like crazy red hair thrown in the wind. She's wearing like this big puffy white dress, and she looks like she'd be the girl from Deathlehem.
Yes,
who I'm
does.
a fan of.
Yes.
So I checked out the album, and they listed themselves as like metal / hard rock / like modern metal was really
Okay.
So I was I had a heads up as to what I was getting into, and it really isn't. There are like some guitar riffs certain times. Some of the structure, I guess you can call it metal, but a lot of it is like the whole album is really catchy, and that's why I really liked was that they were really consistent on keeping each chorus different but catchy, and like you are just gonna sing along to it like the entire time. And even though there's a girl in the front, there's no girl in the band.
There's no female vocals on the album at all.
No, there was one track with that they had a girl featured, but she wasn't part of the band. But for the band themselves, there were just a couple of dudes, and
Just a couple of dudes
yeah.
duding around.
yeah. But I really liked it. I can't say it's straight metal, but I think that you should give it a shot. I think you should listen to it. It kind of reminded me of
Don't
like
say Disturbed. Don't say Godsmack.
No.
Don't say Nickelback. Don't say Nickelback.
No, it kind of reminded me of the direction that Lacuna Coil went when they came out with
Karma Code.
the one
Shallow Life.
Shallow Life.
Okay.
Because remember, I know you had your share of listening to that album,
Yeah.
and you can see where there were a couple parts where it was still metal, but then it also really went like alternative almost.
Yeah. So it's the same basic
It's
principle.
kind of yeah. So, but it was catchy stuff though. Overall, I like that album, Shallow Life, but that like drew the line after that. But this album, I think you should check it out. It's good. If you're looking for some catchy lyrics to sing along to. But like I said, if it wasn't for the cover at first, I don't think I would have even bothered. Just because I'm not crazy about the name of the album.
I'm not crazy about the name of the album either. The first thing I asked you when I saw the cover was, is this a female-fronted metal band?
Yeah.
And when you said no, it's kind of like, Wake from the Game, no chick in it.
Where's this going? Yeah. Well, yeah. So check that one out when you get a chance. It's worth it. Worth your time.
Well, only one other thing I really wanted to mention tonight, the big announcement of the tour, Lamb of God, Death Clock, and Gojira.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's going to be something.
We'll be there.
And now, posing this question to you guys, because we talked about it and we can't figure it out. Death Clock hasn't had a new album in 3 years. I know Brendan Small just tweeted that he's starting work on the Death Album 3, but it's the tour is only 3 months away. Do you think they're going to be playing new material, or you think they're just going to have to go Death Album 1, Death Album 2?
That'd be cool if I could see them playing a lot of 1 and 2, and maybe throwing on maybe like 2 or 3 that we haven't heard, which I'd be happy with, as long as they played a little bit more of 2, because we didn't hear enough of Death Album 2 when we saw them live the second time around.
True. They played a lot from the Death Album 1.
Yeah, which is great and all, but when you put something new out, we want to hear more of it too. You know?
And Death Album 2 was definitely, I think, the heavier of the 2 albums. So
yeah.
It would have been good to listen, but I guess only time will tell. After the Galacticon thing, I can't really question anything Brendan Small does.
Yeah. Well, for now, we're just going to have to wait and find out what Dad tried.